Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel, The Wedding Secret. My name is Simone. I am your wedding coach and I will tell you everything you need to know about weddings and especially budget. I think this is a chapter what everybody's super interested in. My clients, I'm a wedding planner since more than 20 years. One of the first questions is, how much will this cost? And this is very difficult to say because a wedding planning is like building a house. You might have already an idea. Do you want to buy a house of $500,000 or $50,000 or $5 million? So you don't know in the end which house you will find and how much it will cost. And with wedding planning, it's a little bit the same. I'm sure when you are now into the whole wedding planning thing that you have a budget in mind. And it depends how stiff you are with this budget or if you are a little bit flexible. I always recommend to be flexible with the budget, or to at least a little bit, to have some money left to spend, because especially at weddings it's such an emotional thing, and when it comes to the end spurt, how I call it, in the end when you have 2 months left and then you see, oh wow, perhaps I want to add some flip-flops, some guest gifts, or I want to add perhaps a second veil or a second dress or whatever, then it's always good to have some money left and not to be with your budget. And of course, the budget is a big determinator for the suppliers you book in the end. Because if you have a certain budget, then you can not choose perhaps the most expensive photographer. Long story short, I'm sure you know more or less the budget you have and you want to spend, but you cannot know from the beginning 100% how much it will cost. This is a process, like building a house. For you, important, I think, in the beginning is that there are factors or that there are suppliers or costs what are not depending from the group size. If you have more guests, food and beverage will be more expensive because you pay per menu, you pay per guest. The same thing is with transportation. The more guests you have, the more coaches you need, the more buses you need. And also with decoration, the more tables you have, the more tables you have to decorate. So this is these 3 factors, let's say, they are really influenced by the group size. But there are other suppliers what are not that influenced by the group size. And also for small weddings, even if it's 10 people, if you hire a photographer, you have to pay the whole fee. If you book them for a Saturday in the high season, he cannot take another wedding. So if he's there at a small wedding for 10 people, he most probably will charge the same than for a wedding for 100, because he doesn't care if he does 600 pictures for 10 people or for 100. It can be that, of course, you have a big group, you need a second photographer. But in general, I think you understand what I'm talking about, or where I want to go. And the same is with musicians. A DJ charges the same if he plays for 50 or for 100 or for 150 guests. A videographer. The wedding planner can be that they make some differences between smaller weddings and bigger ones. But from my experience, the smaller weddings are not less work than the bigger ones. But also, a smaller wedding needs food, drinks, location, decoration, photographer, styling, dress. So it's not that it's much less work. Let's say it like this. So you see that in proportion, a smaller wedding for 20 guests is much more expensive per guest than a wedding for 100 guests. So I would love to give you now much more information about how much your wedding will cost, but it's very difficult at that stage. Summarizing, you have to have clear your budget, and then you have to have clear your priorities. And if the budget is your priority, you have to work this way. If your wedding vibe and the look of the wedding is your priority, then you need to have a little bit money left, because from my experience, if you have a set budget in the beginning, it's always a little bit more. So thank you very much for listening. Bye bye.